So I want to talk to you guys about how I was able to leave my reef unattended for 7 days relatively stress-free. Now, if you're leaving for a short period of time, like 3 days, 4 days, it might be best to just leave it and do nothing. You don't need an auto feeder, you don't need to rig up all these weird contraptions that are probably going to fail. It's better just to leave it. Your fish can graze on things, they're not going to starve in that amount of time. So it's better to just leave it and do nothing. However, if you're leaving more like 7 days or 2 weeks, you need to do something. And the key to that is obviously automation. The trick is that you can't just go and say, oh, I'm leaving in 3 days for 2 weeks, and I'm gonna go buy an automatic fish feeder, or buy this, buy that, and then set it up and leave. Because that is gonna be a disaster, more likely than not. The trick is that you need to prepare. So what I did is I knew that I was going to leave for winter break very early. So I bought my feeder, I bought my timers for the lights and everything at least 2 months in advance. And this way I got to practice with them and make sure that they were working the way I planned. I can make small adjustments for over 2 months. I was fine-tuning my system. And once it came down to leave, I was completely confident that they were going to be fine, because it was already like I was gone anyways, pretty much. I'm not doing anything on a normal basis. I don't do anything with the tank at all, really, except periodically clean out the filter floss, like I showed in my maintenance video. So the main pieces of equipment that made my 7 days so stress-free was my auto top off, which is the TyroAquaria Smart ATO Micro 120p. It's about $130, I think, but it's well worth it. It keeps the water level perfectly stable, and I've never had a problem with it. The feeder I use is the Eheim Everyday Fish Feeder, which I picked it because it has a lot of storage for food, and there's also a fan to keep it from getting clumping up and getting stuck. There is a problem with it, that it tends to dispense a lot of food at once, especially for a nano aquarium like this. So you kind of have to tape over it and get the hole to the right size. It's just trial and error. And that is a huge reason why you need to get the fish feeder weeks in advance, so you can make sure that it's dispensing properly and on time. And then I have 2 timers. They're Century 7-day heavy-duty timers that I use, and that is what controls my my return pump and my algae reactor light. And so what I have is whenever the fish feeder is about to go off, I turn the return pump off so that the food doesn't just go straight down the return, because it's such a small tank. If I don't turn the return off, the food will just go right out the drain, and then the fish don't get any of it, and it just gets stuck in the filter. I will post links to all the equipment that I use in the description, so you guys can check it out for yourselves. So what I would highly suggest doing is, at a minimum, a week before you know you're going to leave, do a couple dry runs. Pretend, like for that week, that you're not there, and just see how it goes. Check in on your equipment, but don't touch it. Make sure it's doing its thing. If it's not doing what it needs to do, make your adjustment, watch it again for another couple days, and make sure it's doing what it needs to do. Because I promise you, that will make you so much less stressed when you're away, because you have the confidence in your system that you know it's going to be doing what it needs to do. And that's what I did, and I wasn't even worried. I mean, I was thinking about it. I was hoping that there wouldn't be any problems, but deep down I knew that it's been going well for the past 2 months, and nothing's going to happen now. However, if you're in a dorm room like I am, I never know if people are going to come into the room. Like, they say they do like fumigation stuff when we're away. Public safety might do rounds to make sure no one's sneaking or hanging out in one of the rooms over break. So I always put a sign on my aquarium with my phone number, and I say, hey, please don't unplug anything. The lights are on timers. I'm not just leaving them on 24/7. If there's a problem, call me. I don't live that far away. I can be there in 30 minutes if there's something wrong. Just please do not unplug it. And I've done that every time that I've left school with the aquarium there, and I've never had a problem. I've never had anyone call me, but maybe the sign's working. Who knows? It's better safe than sorry. Hey guys, so I'm back from my 7-day winter break. Oh god, that's terrible.